Hello, teammates. My name is Sean J. McCaw, and as usual, I am the host of the Eurostep, this IG Live that aims to take you behind the scenes of this marvelous and sometimes weird life of European basketball. Before we begin tonight, um, a quick reminder that at the bottom of your screen, you should see a question mark with a speech bubble. If you've got a question during the interview, type it in there or type it in the comment section, and I'll try to add that in as the interview is going on. And yeah, before I introduce my guest, I just want to say shortly that this platform, the Eurostep, will invite diverse guests. I think it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important to me that everybody has a seat at my table, and representation is important. So we'll have guests that are EuroLeague vets. We'll have hopefully some NBA guys at some point. We'll have mental coaches. We'll have a whole lot of people that are in the game of basketball, and that's why my guest for tonight is very important to me. It's not the usual guests that I've had in the past where they're Bundesliga players or EuroLeague players and things like that. Kennard Robinson is not a household name yet, but remember the name. He's not playing in front of the thousands of fans like in the Bundesliga. He's not playing on TV like the Bundesliga. Yet he still has that passion and that will to get better and actually do something more for himself and rise up the ladder, climb the ladder. He plays in a city that's approximately 25,000 people strong. He plays in the Oberliga, which is like the sixth division here in Germany. But that's not a bad thing. You know, it's his first year overseas, and I'm really glad that he's coming on to talk to us tonight. So we're going to discuss his journey from the University of St. Thomas, which is a D3 school in Houston, Texas, all the way to Meckenheim, Germany. Yeah, I'm convinced that Kennard will be able to give some quality insight on his journey and also some inspiration to not only those who are striving the ladder, but anybody who wants to make a difference and wants to make their life better and is really willing to grind for what they believe in. So let me get him in here now. I've talked already too much. Milo, how you doing? Muru, how you doing too? Team Fire, hi. Jawan joined. Okay, now we got my guy in there. You don't have a light in there, man? It's dark. You sitting in the dark?
No, I'm in the light. I have my light on right here, but I don't want to sit in front of it because it would be too blurry on me.
Okay,
You
I
want me
got
to
you.
turn?
Okay. No, however, it's fine for me as long as you're comfortable. Don't worry about me.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Hold on, I can cut on this light. Is this better?
That's better. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Okay, man. So first of all, thank you for joining. I hope you heard the intro and understand that I want you to have your time to shine. You know,
Yeah.
that's what this is about. And for me, personally, I find your story very fascinating, and that's why I wanted to have you on. So I appreciate you taking the time out and coming on for
Thanks
tonight.
for having me.
No problem, man. So this is how we'll start. I usually like to tell how we met, and just as usual with almost all my guests, social media. You
Yeah.
know, I think you hit me up first and asked me a question, and then we kind of started talking about how things are for you out there, and that's what kind of hit me like, okay, I got to have this guy on. Like he's got a really nice story.
Okay.
So yeah, how the interview will go, as usual, we'll talk about your athletic career a little bit. We'll talk about how you got started and then the journey overseas and things like that, of that nature, and then also a little bit into your personal background as
Okay.
well. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. Art Chalice, my man from Southern Utah. I have to take a quick second. Art Chalice was at Southern Utah when I was there, and he is a fabulous broadcaster, and I am very glad that you are here, Art. I appreciate you, man. So back to the questions. Let's start off your high school and college years a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about especially your senior season and why maybe you didn't get picked up by a D1 team, or like how did your senior season go for you personally?
So in high school, my senior season, it was unbelievable. I went to a school that, in the coming years before I went there, they wasn't winning. It wasn't a winning program. Nobody even knew about that school. So when I went there, I went and changed the program in my senior season. It was amazing. I played with my brother and I played with a group of guys that I knew growing up as a young age. We played basketball together, and we wasn't the tallest team, but we was the most physical, the most quickest, and we had the most heart. And it was unbelievable. We made it to state that year, and we came up short in the semifinals playing against Atascocita because we wasn't tall enough and we didn't have a big man. But it was very fun to play with those guys, and I felt like I had coming up short. I had a couple D1 offers. I went on visits and stuff like that, but my ultimate decision at the end of it was made because where I felt comfortable and I felt more safe and felt like the coach had the best opportunity and had the best interest at heart for me. So I chose University of St. Thomas.
How did you end up at University of St. Thomas? What exactly? I mean, you said about the coach having your best interest at heart. How did you choose them over D1? Because if you tell me you had D1 offers, that's kind of like every high school player's
Yeah.
dream to play D1. So you
So
you you took another route and went to a D3 school because that's where you felt comfortable. How did that come about?
So with that, I had, with the D1 offer I had, when I went on my visit, I liked it, but also didn't like some of the things that they showed me. But also, I figured when I went there, they already had their point guard and like senior guard and junior guard, and I feel like they was gonna not let me play right away like I wanted to.
Right.
And so I was planning on going out of state to like a Division II college and other schools that I had in mind. But the coach for University of St. Thomas at the time, well, he's still the coach now. His name is Anthony Medina. He literally was at everything. Like I played in the Rucker on Wood. We played in the preseason games. He was at my birthday party trying to recruit me. He came to my graduation. Like he came to everything. And he when I went to tour the campus with him,
Right.
he didn't really talk about basketball with me. He talked about the education part and things after basketball, what he had an interest for me and what he wanted me to do in that aspect. And so I like that because, I don't want to just be another person on someone's team who doesn't really care about me or just look at me as a player or a number. I want to actually be there under somebody I feel comfortable, I can trust, and who has my best interests at heart on and off the court, and I can play for.
So for you, it wasn't a choice of, okay, I'm going to go to D1 and sit on the bench. You wanted to play right away,
Yeah.
and you wanted to have an impact on a team.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to have an impact on the team right away because I know my worth and I know my game. But I didn't mind going to Division I, battling out for the position because I had to do that my whole life. I'm always gonna be against the ropes, and I'm gonna have, I'm gonna be undersized. So people gonna look at me like I can't play on that level. So I always have to prove myself. I had no problem with that. It's just out of all the coaches, really, that coach he really I felt like that was the right way to go and play under him because he really wanted me to come in and change the program, and he was going to give me the keys to the school and just let me run with it like he did.
You spoke about your size. I know you're 5'9", and I mean I'm gonna be real with you. So like your senior season at St. Thomas, you're 5'9". You averaged 12 points, 5 assists on a D3 team.
Yeah.
Probably not exactly a whole lot of scouts, a whole lot of agents knocking on your door saying, "Hey, I'm going to get you a job in the league, or
Hmm.
I'm going to get you a high paying job over in Europe." Did you have did you have any agents talk to you, and how did you end up in Germany?
So my senior season, coming out of college, honestly, I didn't even know anything about having an agent. I didn't know anything at all. I had to figure it out all on my own.
Right.
And so this is what I love about my coach. My coach, him not having like people or a player that was really good and, really wanted to play overseas and stuff like that. He didn't know how to go about that, but he did his best to help me because he knew what my goal was and I wanted to play. So
That's
he
great.
tried to do everything in his power to help me. He knew agents and he knew guys that played overseas. He helped me reach out to them, and I connected with them, and I picked their brain and asked them all the type of questions that I need to and I need to know because I wanted to play overseas and I wanted to know how can I get over there. And the first thing they always told me was you need an agent. It will help you with an agent, and also to go to combines and all that stuff to show my talent and get my name out there. And so for me, it was about networking. Once I learned that, I started networking a lot. And like a bunch of guys that I know and I play with in the pro-am or play against, they playing overseas now. And like my guy, he went to the same school as me. His name Jeremy Lewis. He was playing for the Telecom last season.
Okay.
And so he was already in Germany. And I would talk to him every year. Even when I was in college, I was talking to him when he was out here, asking him questions about how it works out there and what I need to do to get over there to play just like him. And he would help me and give me great advice. And for me, I networked and I knew a coach for the team that I'm playing for now. I knew the player that was here last year, and he knew my coach as well. So they connected us together, and we talked and we chopped it up and sent him my information. And he told me that the team is looking for another guard because he's not going to come back. And
Right.
so he reached out, and I reached out and sent my information. They liked me, and so they decided to bring me out here.
So, I mean, these days, it's not often that a guy will get a job directly from a club, right?
Yeah,
Because the higher the league, the more they are dependent on agents and usually agents that they trust. When I was coaching in the first Bundesliga in Germany, I only went through agents that I trusted. I didn't go anywhere else outside of that.
yeah,
So, um, of course, the lower down you go in Europe in the leagues, then you might be able to latch on somewhere that doesn't use an agent, that will find a diamond in the rough, such as yourself, that
yeah,
doesn't go through an agent. Because of course, how it used to be is the clubs would pay for the commission for that agent. So if you use a guy, if they find a diamond in the rough, such as yourself, then they don't have to pay the agent's fee, right? So
yeah. So
I
that's
mean,
saving them money.
that saved them a little bit of cash that maybe they can put into your pocket. So speaking of pay scale, I know the pay scale here in Germany, and I can imagine you're not making big time money, right? Um, you probably could work back home for the amount and make way more than what you're probably making here. Um, when you negotiated your contract, or what was your first thought when you got the very first contract offer from Meckenheim? What was your thought like?
My first thought, I talked it over with my wife, but my first thought was, I'm like, man, this is an opportunity, but this is not enough to sustain my living. I can't do that. Like, I'm taking a pay cut from what I was making
Exactly.
already. I took a major pay cut.
Exactly.
And after I saw that, I talked to my wife. I was like, I'm gonna need to renegotiate some stuff or try to see if they can put in ways that I can make extra money because that is just not even enough. Even the extra money that they might even try to give me, that still is not going to be enough.
Right.
So
So how did you then decide, okay, um, I'm going to take this gig? I mean, it's a chance on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's not something like you said that's sustainable for your life, right?
yeah.
You got a wife, you got things that you have to do. How did you in the end decide to actually take the offer from Meckenheim?
So I talked about it with my wife and I prayed about it. I'm real big on my faith and I prayed about it to God and I asked him to guide me and give me the strength. And if this is a good opportunity for me, give me a sign that I should take it. And also I took it on my faith and my belief in myself. I know, with some opportunities you have to make sacrifices. You have to take a
Yep.
chance on yourself.
Yep.
And I'm willing to do that. If it means me coming over here for my first season getting numbers, put my name out here, I can come over here and network and show other teams what I'm doing, and I can get another opportunity from there in higher leagues. So
What were your expectations when you came to Germany?
me, man,
Did
honestly,
you did you do like some research on what you were getting yourself into?
I honestly didn't know at first, but I knew a little bit because my guy was already over here in
Right.
Germany. So
Right. That's an advantage, yeah.
yeah, he told me how to pack. My wife did a lot of research. She real big on that, so she told me how to pack. She helped me pack. We went and bought a lot of stuff because it's cold out here. Sometimes it's really
Right.
cold, and I'm
Yeah.
from Houston. It's always hot, so I'm not used to that.
So, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of shameless promotion.
Hmm.
This
I know,
probably
I know, I
this
know.
probably could have helped you quite a
That could
bit.
have helped me if I would have knew about it earlier.
um, so was there anything that you thought that could have prepared you better than what you already tried to do?
Honestly, if I knew everything that I knew now and with like your book, if I knew all that coming out or in college, I could have been doing that in college. If I
Right,
would have knew that then,
right,
it would have been so
right,
much easier and a better, smooth process than what it is now.
right.
So,
That's an important point. The sooner the better, you know.
yeah.
So I've also played in small towns. I played
Hmm.
when I first came overseas, I played in Austria, and the town is about, I don't know, 15, 20,000 people. So I know what it's like to play in a small town, your first season overseas. Probably some culture shock, right?
A little, yeah. I actually like that culture. I've been trying to speak German and learning more since I've been here. I use Duolingo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the basketball side, was it an adjustment for you? I mean, let me throw one thing at you. The first maybe first game or so, did you call for a lot of travels?
Actually, no, because I was
Wow.
already working on it in college. When
Okay.
like my guy who played for Telecom, we went to the same college. He's just older than me, so when he
Right.
comes home, we always working out together. And I already knew the goal for me. I wanted to play overseas, so I wanted to learn everything that I needed to. So when I got over there, I wouldn't get called for travels and all that stuff. So I
That's
worked on that.
That's big time because I just wrote a blog this past week about OGs,
Yeah,
like the people that help you, the old guys that help
yeah,
you out. And that is such an important thing to have, but not everybody has it. Not
yeah,
everybody has a guy that will work with you and say, "Hey, you got to put the ball down first or they're going to call you for travel." Right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so you were really lucky to have someone that had played overseas and could really help you out with minor things like that. I mean, it's not a minor thing actually, because if you get called for 7 travels in your first game, your coach is not going to be very happy with you.
He's not. My coach was actually happy. He tell me this all the time. He was like, "I'm actually shocked, Kennard. When you came over here, I thought we was gonna have a problem with you traveling all the time,
Right,
but
right.
we don't have that problem with you." I was like, "Yeah, I was working on it, so it's all good."
So you get on a plane, you come over, you fly over to Meckenheim. What was your first impression of Meckenheim when you first got there? The situation, the gym facilities, the everything that what was around it was probably your high school was probably had better conditions, right? So
Man,
what
so
was your first thought when you walked into the gym and was like, wow.
I was like,
And by
"This
the way,
is
I'm sorry to anyone from Meckenheim. This is not to bag on Meckenheim or their facilities or anything like that. This is just purely from a American standpoint. Is definitely different after you get off the planes, and
man."
that's what I want to talk about.
It was so different. It was like when I walked in the gym, it was nothing compared to what I'm used to in the States. Like our high school gyms are, bigger than theirs, and the courts are actual courts, and it's different out here.
Right?
Like out here, they use the gym for, I would say, a lot of different sports, like handball.
All the
They
lines on the court.
all the lines on the court. I'm like, what is this? And then and so it was pretty different. Then they have like different teams practicing in there. And then what was different for me was we have certain gym times that we can go in the gym
You don't
because
have
other
access to the gym.
no, but I have more access than normal because they gave me a key so I can go in there, but
That's
I
love.
have to go in there at a certain time. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to being able to go to the gym all the time whenever I want and work out on my own schedule.
There's one thing for that though, on the plus side. If you have a limited amount of time, then you get things done.
Yeah.
You're probably more structured and you get to the point. You don't mess around too much. Maybe you don't take as many breaks. You
Yeah.
know you only got an hour, so you get that stuff done that you want to work on in that hour. So
Yeah.
on the flip side of it, on the flip side of it, it's actually more productive sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah, very productive.
So I want the viewers to understand a little bit about what life is like on the lower side of European basketball. You talked about not having access to the gym like you probably would have back home. Um, how often a week do you normally practice, and how many extra times can you get?
So for us, we practice, I want to say my team, they practice 2 times out the week. So we practice on Wednesday and Friday.
Wow.
But for me, I practice and I work out every day because we have Monday. The only day I can't get in the gym is on Tuesday because it's booked all day. And so that's why Tuesday is like my free day to do anything. But Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we either have practice. Well, I coach two of the teams here as
I
well.
was going to
So
ask you that later. Yeah.
yeah. So I have practice with the teams that I coach, and then after I coach them, I'll stay later in the gym and I'll work out then. And then on the days we practice, I either have practice with one of the teams that I coach and I'll work out before I coach them. And then after we practice, I'll stay again and I'll work out even more. So I'm doing that Monday through Saturday.
See, that's the marked difference about playing in a lower league because, of course, we'll just talk about German standards, what I know very well, and most Bundesliga teams have a practice gym,
Yeah.
so the players have a direct access to the gym pretty much 24/7. It's not
Yeah.
used by schools. It's not used. It doesn't have all the crazy lines on there. It's really it's really one of those situations where they can have access to a gym and get one-on-one workouts with coaches and things like that. So that's one of the stark differences between being on a lower level team or lower division than the top teams. And also, I'm sure you had your issues with medical staff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We don't, and that's the thing. It's not like it is in the States. So we have a medical staff, but I have to go to his office. He's not there with us all the time. He's at his own little setup in Meckenheim, and I have to go to him when I want to see him or making an appointment. He's not always there. He's not at all
Right.
the games or anything. So it's pretty different for me because I'm used to the medical staff being there with us at practice whenever we need them, and we going in the training room and getting treatment and stuff like that, and we don't have that here.
You taping your own ankles?
Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't. I will go to him if I need my ankle tape, but now I'm just going without my ankles being taped because that's too much.
I mean, I was when I was in Austria my first year, we also didn't have the medical staff, and we were first league, but we didn't have
Yeah.
like a constant medical staff. And my teammates and I, we would take garbage bags and go to the McDonald's to get ice,
Yeah.
and they were a sponsor, so they didn't care. So after almost every practice, we were going there through the drive-through, handing them a bag. They throw some ice in there and hand it back, and we drive on through. So I mean, I know those. I know I started also from very humble beginnings, if you want to say
Mm.
it like that. But I know that that can also be a positive thing because you get to learn to take care of yourself, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
to do things for yourself. And nowadays you have the internet, so you can also look up things online. You can buy things online. Back in the dinosaur ages when I played, there was no Amazon where I couldn't order ankle braces or a knee brace or I don't know whatever I needed. So I had to bring all that stuff back home from back home every year
Yeah.
or something like that. So it's different now. Um, what I wanted to know, you touched on it earlier when you said that, of course, the contract wasn't what you thought it should be or what you had expected at first, and that leads me to the question that you also started talking about earlier. I know that lower level teams they do things like maybe give you free meals at restaurants
Hmm.
to offset some of the cost, or that they really go the extra mile
Yeah.
sometimes and try to give you an opportunity to earn more money. Like you mentioned as well, being a coach. I've heard of that before as well, that you coach a team and then they can offset some funds in that way as well. Was that something that you talked to them about, or how did they approach you about, okay, let's give you this in your contract, we give you some meals, we can do this. You coach a team. How was that? How did that conversation go?
So with the contract thingy, when I first seen it, I wasn't, I was like, I told him this is not enough. Is there anything else I can do to make extra money out there? Because I know from my overseas, my OGs, you can get bonuses in your contract and stuff.
Right.
From your, I want to say accolades or game
Per game
thing.
wins.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So I knew that, and so I asked, could I get that in my contract as well? And what's some other things that I can do to get extra money? And he messaged me back and told me what he could offer me, and coaching was one of them. And then also now working a little bit at one of the companies that we have.
Was a sponsor?
Yeah, yeah. And then now I actually train and do individually training. So I do that on like the weekend, every weekend, like every Saturday morning, I train kids and make extra money that way. So they
See,
come up with all type of creative ways to help me make more
right.
money.
I mean, the lower division teams, I have to say they really go the extra mile
Yeah,
for their foreign players sometimes because they also understand that that's not the contracts that they're able to offer are
yeah,
sometimes not what the dream contract would be. And that's the thing with when you're a professional in the Bundesliga, for example, you're practicing every day, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day.
hmm,
But in your situation, you're practicing twice a day, so you've got a lot of downtime. And you might as well do something constructive. And of course, coaching kids is a very noble thing to do as well. And then it keeps your mind sharp as well. And you bring your knowledge and a lot to the table for kids. So
yeah.
I applaud you for doing that and really sticking with that and having that as a part of your contract as well.
Yeah, I actually like it. I was coaching back in the States before I came here. I was coaching at a high school. So I can coach, and I have a lot of wisdom what I learned throughout me playing, and that's something I want to do after basketball as coach. So why not learn how to coach and get more experience coaching out
Right,
here and
right,
playing, so I can have
right,
something when I'm done.
right. I know, especially in lower leagues, the Americans, the foreigners, doesn't matter American or Croatian or whatever, but the foreigners, you guys have to dominate. Like, there's no question about it. You can't be one of the guys. You have to be the standout guy. You're playing 35 to 40 minutes a game. What you do on the court will have a direct influence on if you win or lose a game. You don't have the luxury of having an off night.
Yeah.
Were you prepared for that fact before you came over?
I was prepared for that, and that's something that I look forward to because in my college I played like 38 to 40 minutes, and if I wasn't on a court, sometimes the game would change, and so I was used to that. But I knew coming over here, as an American, that's what they're bringing me over here for. So I have to dominate, and I had it in my mind that I was coming over here to dominate to get a better opportunity and help myself. So.
Right. So now I've got a teammate question from one of the viewers from Shifty Genon. What's it like to play and practice with players so different than what you're used to back home?
For me out here, it's different. It's sometimes it's a little frustrating because you're used to playing with people that make certain reads and know how to come off the pick and roll and
Yeah.
actually know how to roll towards the basket and play off that. And so out here in the league that I'm in, some of them they actually don't know how to do that or they can't catch as well. So it's just a little different. It's frustrating. So I have to learn how to work with them and understand their tendencies and what they're good at and
Mhm.
what they can do. And so I just learned that with my teammates because I love to interact with the guys and I just, help them be good at what they can do.
Um, the structure in European basketball is different than back home, right? So you've got
Yeah.
different leagues. So of course, the top league is the top talent, and then as the leagues go down, the talent becomes weaker. Sometimes guys have jobs, sometimes they're students, sometimes you're playing with young guys. You're playing
Mm.
with guys that are 15, 16 years old that are trying to get their first experience playing on a professional or semi professional level. Um, was it difficult for you to play with guys that maybe are not at the same level as you? Was there frustration? You talked about when they would drop a pass, things like that. You've got to do everything,
Yeah.
but you're getting triple team, you're getting double team, so you have to pass the ball, you have to do other things. Was it difficult for you to adjust to that, to play with guys that were maybe not as strong as you?
I wouldn't say it was difficult. It's a little frustrating at times, but it's not difficult because I can adjust to any situation. So for me, I just, talk to my teammates and tell them what I see and what I know they need to do. Like, let's say if I'm getting triple team, I
Mhm.
point them in a direction that they need to be in. I let them know when I pass you the ball, you need to be ready to shoot it because they leaving you open. You're gonna have to shoot it. I can't shoot it if they tripping the team, so you just be ready. And I give them confidence to shoot it and believe in
Exactly.
themselves, and it works out for the best. Once I give him
That's
the
leadership.
confidence, yeah, I'm a great leader as well.
Okay, pump yourself up, man. Don't be shy. Don't don't be shy. Pump
No,
yourself up. I'm here for it, man.
no, that's just something, and I commend my coach on that in college. That's just something I always been good at, and he helped me improve on that to prepare me for life after college for the professional.
So I've checked out your stats. So for the season, you guys are undefeated, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and you averaged about 32 a game,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm sure you saw a lot of double, triple teams, stuff like that. How would you say your season went? And I know you're probably your worst critic, so be easy on yourself. But how do you think your season went? Your first season overseas went? It's
Uh,
not over, but we'll talk about what happens next in a minute. But how do you rate it so far?
I feel like from the game last night, I feel like I can do more. I feel like I can do better. I'm never satisfied. So for me being over here, I feel like I should be averaging 50. I should be having 20 assists. I should be having 10 assists. I'm always thinking, what can I do more? What can I do better? I'm never satisfied. Even if I have a great game, I can shoot it really good from the field. I can look back once I watch the film over. I can be so hard on myself. Why did I do this? Why did I make that pass? It's just I feel like I can do better. But I am having a good season for my rookie season, but I could do better than what I'm doing now.
I mean, that's a good trait, man, that you are self-critical, but also make sure you're not too hard on yourself. Make sure you're not too hard on yourself, man. Give
Yeah,
yourself give yourself the credit for what you deserve. Of course, look at the film, break things down. Of course, there's no such thing as a perfect game. But for what you're doing, I mean, you're putting up very gaudy stats, and I'll talk about that in a second, but um, don't be too hard on yourself. That's
yeah.
just one thing I wanted you to know. So speaking of gaudy stats, your numbers this thus far in the playoffs are 26 and 11. And I don't care if you're playing against Stevie Wonder School of the Blind, you still got to put up 26 and give out those assists, those 11 assists. So that's not an easy feat to do to score and make sure that you put guys in a position to score as well. So I got a lot of respect for that, and I know you guys won the first two games, so you moved into the next round. Uh,
Mhm.
what do you expect for the rest of the season?
For the rest of the season, I expect, the same thing is going to be pretty hard, pretty hard. It's going to be a battle. I'm probably going to see a double team or a triple team, but I have to, make sure my teammates are ready to shoot the ball and score the ball when they are double teaming me. And I'm a very unselfish player. I want to see my teammates succeed as well. So I love to pass the ball. That's another good thing I love to do. I love seeing everybody happy. And so when we're playing, if we win it, we all going to be happy for sure. So we got to keep doing everything we need to do to win. And then I'll be happy with that. I'll be satisfied.
Good. I got one more teammate question from Giannis. Which league is harder for you, your current league or your college league back home?
I would say my college league it was more competition, the
Right,
competition wise, because
right.
every night you're playing against someone or a lot of people on the team that can actually really really play and that would score 20 plus points on you if you're not on your A game. So I would say my college, but the German league is more physical. I would say that,
Hmm,
and it's more harder to score because they can just sit in the paint out here.
exactly. It's,
In the
it's a different
states, you can't
style.
do that. It's
It's a
different,
different
yeah.
style. So let's move on a little bit to your private side, man, because there's more to you than being an athlete. You mentioned earlier that you're married and your wife Brittany was there with you for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
How important was it for you to have the support of your wife, even though she can't be here full time? How important was it for you to have that support from your wife to come over and visit you and support you from the contract signing till now?
It's It's the best, man, because I feel like behind every strong man is a strong woman. And, you know, for her to be supporting me on my dream and my goals, it means the world to me. Like literally having her come here, I was playing super good because I was always happy. And even when I have a bad game and I'm hard on myself, I would go home. My wife, she would uplift me and tell me good things about myself and tell me to move on and make me think positive about the situation. So it was really good to have her, and I'm thankful to have her in my life for everything she do for me.
How difficult is it for you guys to communicate and to uphold your closeness when you're so far away? How are you guys able to deal with that?
It's difficult, but we make it work because we're on different time zones.
Right.
I think I'm like 7 hours ahead of her. So when I'm getting ready to go to sleep, she probably just waking up. Or when she's just waking up, I'm getting ready to go to sleep. But for me, I always try to, if I'm not super tired, I'll stay up a little bit so I can talk to her and give her some time because I know if I don't, we're not going to talk at all. And we just talk and we communicate and laugh a little. But if I'm too tired, I'll fall asleep on the phone with her. And
Like a
she's
teenager,
understanding.
right?
Yeah, she used to that because we've been doing it since I was in college, and so she used to me being tired, and she's very understanding. She knows I'm working hard and I'm at practice all day. She knows I might not have time to talk, so she understands. When we do talk, we get the little time in here and there, and we're fine with that.
Did what was her first reaction when you got the initial contract from McCaw? Did she give you the side eye like, come on, man, come
Ah,
on, man?
yeah, you know, with her, it's still the same now. She's not happy with it, but she knows, and we both have big faith in God that you know God brought this into my life for a reason. Everything happens for a reason,
Right.
and me taking a chance going out here is good for me to put my name out there and build up my name and get a better opportunity from it.
Speaking of what you do off the court, I know you are working with One Goal Graduation,
Mm.
uh, and which I opened a fundraiser for those of you watching for One Goal Graduation. Can you tell us a little bit about the program and what you do there?
It's a program. Actually, I got involved in it in high school. It's a program supporting, I would say, low economy communities around Houston, around the greater Houston, the world period, like Chicago, like schools that where they have kids that's not graduating a lot. It's a
Right.
program where we go and we help kids, you know, reach their goals of making it to college or being the first in their family to actually graduate and get their degree. And so I started with that in high school. I actually went through it myself and they helped me and they mentored me and
So
they actually helped me to apply to colleges because I didn't know how to do that in high school. And that's something we do with little kids or the kids growing up. We help them apply to college and prepare them for life in college, teach them how to study, how to be on their own, and how to stay on track to graduate. So if they have any questions, we'll answer their questions and mentor them and help them. And life after college, we'll help them get a job or get ready for the real world. So we just give back in every way possible.
that's so amazing. That's really fascinating, man. And that's why I started the fundraiser. I mean, I set a very low goal of 100 euros because it's the first time I've ever done something like this. But I'm behind what you're doing, so I want to make sure the teammates know what good things you're doing off the court as well. And the fundraiser will be open for 30 days.
Mm.
So please feel free, you teammates out there, to show a little bit of support. Every cent counts. So let's get behind what Kennard is doing off the court and to help support those that are in need. And I mean, it helped him as a high school senior to help him fulfill his dreams of going to college. So it's a very valuable resource for a lot of people. So let's get behind it. Um, is there something else you would like to do when you're finished with basketball besides what you're doing with One Goal Graduation?
Something else I want to do. For me, I would want to be like a motivational speaker because I
You've been
love
the
talking.
underdog, so you could definitely you've been the underdog your whole life, so you
Yeah,
could definitely go in that vein, right?
yeah. I want to do that, and I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to coach, and then I also want to focus on my upcoming brand that I'm working on. I want to do those three things so I can give back to the communities or low income communities where I grew up at, and help kids start a foundation within my name to help kids get scholarships and pay for their scholarships so they can go to college. I want to do stuff like that.
So you just mentioned your upcoming brand, your
Hmm.
upcoming what is it, clothing line?
Yeah, this is a clothing
See,
line.
I just saw that in your story the other day. I didn't after all the checking up and things that I do for this show. I didn't even know that, and I saw it in your story, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So let's give yourself a little bit of pub and tell good people out there what you're doing with that.
So my brand is KTR. It stands for, it's my name, but it stands for Keep Thriving Relentlessly. No matter whatever life throws at you, just keep striving for whatever your goals is. No, you always gonna get a bunch of no's. Don't worry about the no's. Just keep pushing and keep going to the top and keep working towards your goals, no matter what. So that's what my brand stands for. It's a lifestyle, and it's not just a name. It can work for you on and off the court, in basketball and in the real world in your life.
I'll be sure to put links in the YouTube description so we can have this people support you on that and on one goal as well. Uh, I think it's fabulous. So, what's your off-season routine look like? So, after you're done with this season, this will be your first off-season as a pro. What is your off-season what's it gonna look like?
For me, I know I'm going home. I'm gonna spend time with my family, spend time with my wife, and rest for like I will say rest for probably a week, and then after that, I'm back to my 4 workouts a day. Waking up at 6 a.m., getting a workout, then going weightlifting, then running the hills, then back in the gym all day, every day, Monday through Friday, and then
Man,
Sunday.
you said I'm gonna take a rest like you're gonna take like a month off.
Nah,
You said a week. I was thinking, man, that ain't no rest.
no, because I can't take that long because you never know when the next opportunity
Right,
might come. So I
right.
always have to stay ready. And so that's my plan when I go back home. I'm gonna rest for a little bit and then I'm gonna work out to be ready for when the next opportunity.
With the how your season is going. I mean, you've had definite success. I mean, your team is undefeated. You're averaging a crazy amount of points and assists. Um, I'm sure you want to move to the next level. You want to move up the ladder. I don't
Yeah.
think that's a bad thing. You know, there's no problem. You're a professional, so of course you want to be the best you can be. You want to play on the best possible level that you can play on. But I know how the market is, and sometimes it doesn't happen for one reason
Mm.
or another. Would you have a problem with going back to Meckenheim next season?
So I talked about that with my wife and that's a tough question. Like I always want to come back. Of course, yes. I don't have no problem with coming back. I like playing for the organization. I like the people around here. But it's just, I have goals of my own and things
Of
that I want to
course.
do. I want to make it to the higher level and I want to be playing in higher leagues to be getting paid more and playing against better competition on a nightly basis, so I can get my name out there and continue building my foundation and what I'm doing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I have no problem coming back. It's just if I do come back, it would have to be balanced and the right situation for me.
Of course. I mean, hey, you're a professional. Whether you're getting paid $10 an hour, $10 per day, or $20 per game as a bonus, or whatever. You are a professional, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's nothing wrong with starting at a lower position and then working your way up. And we as professionals, or you as a professional, only have a limited time that you are able to earn money by playing the game of your choice, in this case basketball. But athletes in general only have a very short time frame. You play for 10, 15 years. I played for 13 years. You still got another 35, 40 years to live, right? So
Yeah.
of course, in the little amount of time that you have as a professional athlete, you want to reach your goals, you want to earn more money, you want to play on the highest level. So there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with going back to Meckenheim if the situation is right for you and
Yeah.
your family. So make sure that you keep that in your mind that you do what's right for you You do what's
Hmm.
right for your family, and everything, like you said, everything will work out on its own.
Yeah.
So my last question is, or partly my last question, um, for this round is not a question at all. I want you to big yourself up, man. I want you to talk to a potential GM and tell that GM what you bring to the table, and let's try to get you uh, able to secure the bag
What I bring to the table on the court or off the court?
on the court.
On the court, what I bring to the table, I'm a very fast, quick, intelligent, high IQ point guard. Well, I can do it all. I can score at all three levels. Inside, I can finish over the bigs. I can shoot, score on the mid range, and I shoot the NBA threes, deep range, consistently. Also, I can create not only for myself but for my teammates as well. So I can get anywhere on the court whenever I want. And I'm a lock-up defender who loves to pick up full court and play defense, play a high energy guy, and very positive and a great leader at that. And I bring a winning attitude, and all I'm about is winning. All I want to do is winning. So wherever I'm at, that's the goal, and that's my plan to win and help the program become better.
Is your mom proud mother of four kings?
Yes,
So I don't know if you can see it, but she's been writing occasionally here in
I've
the
been
chat,
seeing it. I've been
and
seeing it.
she wrote in there, secure the
The
bag,
bag,
son.
so.
So, Mom, we're gonna see what we can do to help him secure the bag. Okay. So now we go into overtime where I ask you some more rapid fire questions,
Mhm.
kind of fun questions. So let's get started. Who you picking to play with in a 3-on-3 game? You and who else? Two guys
Me,
or two women. Could be also two women.
I would pick me and my brothers. I
I
have,
oh hey, that's dope.
yeah, me and my brothers,
That's
and
dope.
my mom too, if I could pick her
Mom's
as
is
well.
coaching. Mom's is coaching.
Okay, but my mom could play too. Her knee is messed up now, but she could actually play, so I would pick her too.
Hey, that is maybe the best answer that I've heard. Everybody goes for Kobe, Jordan, stuff like that.
Nah,
I mean, if you got three brothers, um, then you got you got an ultimate built-in squad that you guys know each other in and out. And I love that answer.
it's
Really, I
four of
really
us.
love that
It's
answer.
four of us total.
Oh yeah. So the best Houston Rockets player of all time is
Uh, I must say Tracy McGrady.
Tracy.
Yeah, I
Okay,
like Tracy when he was there.
okay, okay. Who was the most influential person for the development of your game?
Do I have to pick one person?
No,
I would say my coaches that I have, my uncle Gaines, my mom, and my trainers, the TJ Ford, the NBA
yeah,
player,
yeah,
and his program, and his dad, Pop Ford.
cool. So you've been here almost a full season now. What European basketball team would you pay to see?
Man, any BBL game, any BBL game. I go to the games now. I love it. I love it. I love the competition. I love the atmosphere. I just love being there. I love watching basketball, period. So any team I can watch in a higher league or something, I want to see it because I want to study the game. I want to learn, and I want to see all the things they're doing so I can get there.
It's good to learn the nuances of a league. So
Yeah.
if it's your goal to play in the BBL, the Bundesliga here in Germany, the top league, of course, it helps if you watch games and you see the rhythm of the game, you see the little nuances. So that's good to be a student of the game. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Is there a significance of your jersey number?
A significance? Number three is because my favorite player, Allen Iverson.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Uh, if you had to choose one song to play on repeat while you warm up, what song would it be?
Rod Wave, shooting star.
Okay, okay. I kind of figured that one.
Yeah.
Little birdie told me that. So you mentioned earlier that you've been trying to pick up German. What can you say in German that will impress the people back home?
Mm.
When you go home, what's going to be your German flex? Like I can speak German, so listen to this. What's going to be your flex?
You'll probably have to start a conversation with me. I would
Wie
say,
geht's dir? Wie geht's dir?
Niguez Dia? I don't know
How are
about
you?
that.
That's
How
how
are
are
you?
you?
Oh, all is good.
Alles good. Alles good.
Hmm.
Hey,
All is good.
that sounds good to me, man. I feel you on that one.
Look,
what are your all-time favorite hooping shoes?
Kobe's. Kobe's. I love Kobe's.
Which ones? Or all each one?
All of Kobe's. Yeah, all of Kobe's. The Kobe
So
fours, the Kobe threes, Kobe sixes, Kobe tens, all of them.
so I saw in your in one of your posts when you were doing your yoga and your stuff, you showing your game day routine. You had
Hmm.
that bookcase or whatever it is in
Yeah,
the back with a whole bunch of shoes.
yeah.
And so are those all Kobe's or almost all Kobe's back there?
Oh no, I got a little bit Kyrie's and the GT cuts, and then I actually have peak shoe. This is my first time wearing peak.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I I have a peak shoe by Lou Williams, so most of them are Kyrie's and Kobe's, and a couple Giannis's.
Your mom wrote, "Don't come back here and we don't understand your language."
My brother talking about Donka Donka because he always hear me saying that to my teammates.
um, what did I have? Oh, another teammate question. This one from my guy Jason.
Hmm.
Um, do you have any interests or hobbies that would surprise people? Like, are you a strapping country music fan, or what you got going on? Some kind of secret talent that nobody knows about?
I'm pretty sure my family knows, but I like to sing and dance. When I'm listening to my
Okay.
music, I'm always singing. Even my teammates know when I'm warming up, I'm always singing my music out loud and thinking I'm at a concert or something.
So the real question though is, and I want mom to write this. I'm pretty sure I know her answer. I want mom to write, can he sing? Does he have a voice for it? Is it just like two cats fighting or something like that? Mom, can you give us an insight on if he can really sing or not?
But
I'm gonna go on while I wait for her answer, but I really
okay.
want her to get back to me on that one. Um,
And I dance. I dance. I could dance too.
and she writes, I wish
Yeah.
you were going to be here so for her party so
Yeah.
we can dance. Is it going to be her birthday party that you're missing?
Yes. Her birthday is on April 1st and she having a party on the 2nd. And so I'm missing her party and I'm her dance partner.
Hey, that's crazy because I mean, as a pro, you're going to miss probably all her birthdays, and that's the little known fact that not a lot of people really think about when they consider going overseas that they're going to miss a whole lot, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, this is not on the subject what I was on before, but how is it for you to miss such events like your mom's birthday? I don't know if you missed your wife's birthday or things like that. Like how do you deal with that?
Good thing I'm not gonna miss my wife's birthday, but it's tough. You know, it's tough being away, missing the family functions and everything, and all the parties. But they call me, so I stay up when they're there, so I can see everybody, I can speak. As long as I'm able to communicate with them and kind of
Right,
be there on the phone a little bit and talk, I'm okay because
right.
I know I'm out here, I'm grinding, and I'm doing what I need to do for my life and my career. And I know they're supporting me back home, and I have their support 100%, so they know why I'm missing it, so they understand. So it's okay for me.
Mom's wrote, as long as he's happy playing, I'm happy for him. That's
Yeah,
love.
that's it.
That's love. Last question. What advice would you give yourself, your college self, your senior in college self? What advice would you give yourself, what you know now that you would give to your college self?
Man, start early. Start early, learning all the things you need to learn about agents, about overseas, different cultures, and how to, navigate and network with other people. Because if you was doing, I know, I know. That's why I knew I saw your book and what you were talking about it, and I knew it would help if I would have had that like 2 years, 3 years ago, I would probably be in a whole different situation than I'm in now.
Yeah, I mean, it's always better to start earlier than late, but that's the thing is not a lot of players. There's so many players, right? There's so many players back home and over the world, all over the world. And but not everybody has access to the information that they need.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do with my book. And I'm glad you have it now because maybe it'll help you in your further career, right? Um, but that's my whole goal is to help people to have an even better career than I had myself. And that's what drives me, and that's why I'm really super glad that you came on and talk about your experience in Germany and playing in the Oberliga and like the sixth league out here because it's not one that everybody is open to talk about because there's maybe a little bit of shame, like, okay, I'm overseas, but I'm hooping in the sixth league. Nobody, I've said this tons of times, nobody works on their game in the summers and thinks, okay, I want to go play in the sixth league in Germany, right?
Yeah.
Nobody does that. But yet you're here, you're doing what you love to do, you're grinding, and you're an inspiration to me, and I'm sure you'll be an inspiration to everyone that looks at this and is in their grind, no matter what profession they're in. So I really applaud you, tip my hat to you for staying focused and doing what you love to do, man.
Yeah, and for me, it's no need to be ashamed, you know. You gotta, everybody have to start somewhere. Some
Exactly.
people start in a higher league than you coming out of college. Some people start in a lower league. But it's all about where you end up and where you finish. If you
Yep.
believe in yourself and believe in your game and you trust your ability and trust in God, what he have planned for you, man, the sky's the limit. For me, it was no problem coming out here because I know what he have in store for me and what I have in store for myself and what I want is going to be way higher than this. This is just a starting point.
Those are wise words and a great way to end our
Yeah.
interview, man. Like I said, man, I respect what you're doing. Really proud that we're in contact, and you can reach out to me anytime, whatever you need. If I can help you out with, just let me know if you got any questions. But you know that we talk. Um, so that's it for my questions for today. You hit the shot at the buzzer. Um, Teammates out there, please go give Kennard a follow and support his journey. And I'll be listing everything in the description page on the YouTube video when I upload it. Don't forget the fundraiser for One Goal graduation. If you can donate whatever you can, that would be lovely. Every dollar helps. And if you're a GM and you're looking for a quality point guard that can do it all, this guy is your guy. And everybody out there, remember the name, and let's support what he's doing. Kennard, I really appreciate you being on, man. And we're gonna talk anyway, so you get
Yes,
on out
sir.
of here, man, and get on with your night.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And tell moms, thank you.
Bye.
So, teammates, that was it for this edition of the Euro stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did myself. A lot of insight and a lot of inspiration for everybody that is in that grind and really trying to better their situation. Moms, you can be proud of him. I see you said have a good day. You can be proud of him, and yeah. Uh, like always, if there's any information that you liked or you want to pass on to someone else, please do. Every like, every share helps. Just want to get the message out to the basketball community and those who are interested in basketball as well. My mission is to provide knowledge, quality information to everyone that I can help. My book, my book, same name, different game, and the past interview series that I did with the fourth quarter, all geared to doing just that. So I'm hoping I can help the one or other person, and that would be really good if I can hear from you guys in the comments, or you give a like or a follow or things like that. Would be fantastic. I appreciate everybody that joined us tonight. I appreciate all those of you that will watch it on YouTube later. Um, have a good night. Be safe out there, and I'll see everybody later. Old head out.